Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Trishna Talks with someone yet very interesting. First of all, I would wish all of y'all a very happy Navratri. And today's guest is Mukta Khandelwal. She's an event and PR and branding professional. She's a blogger. She's one of the youngest director of Literature Festival, and she's a single mother. So, welcome, Mukta.
Hi, Trishna.
Hi,
Thank you
how are
for
you?
having me. Very well. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for coming over.
My pleasure.
Yes. How have you been?
Very, very well. How have you been? How about you?
We guys have been amazing too.
Happy Navratri.
Celebrations.
Yes,
Navratri special is on every day. So some
absolutely.
the color coordination and the works. Even though due to COVID it's not as vibrant, but
Yeah,
then still the color element and the vibe is still there.
absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. So I mean, there's such a long array of introductions that I had to give for you.
hmm
And there's so many things that you've been balancing and doing. So let's start with how was, I mean, before being a single mother and all of that. Let's start with the basics. Like, tell us something about your life before, even before you got married.
So, before I got married, life was good. I was working for a big event management company. I was looking after their PR and events and everything,
Hmm.
branding basically,
Okay.
and with lovely friends around, a very beautiful family. Life was good. Uh, I've always have been very, very passionate about my work. I've always been very ambitious. So, busy with work and, the family and friends. Life was absolutely wonderful. And then, of course, marriage happened.
So what happened in your marriage? What was the,
So, practically, there was really nothing. I mean, I can't really say one point, one thing that was wrong about it. You know, I got married. It was absolutely fine. After a certain time, uh, of course, my life absolutely changed 180 degrees when I got married. Because then after my marriage, soon after my marriage, I had to move cities. I shifted from Delhi to Bombay, and then I
okay,
became a housewife. And in no time, in a few months, I realized that I've conceived, which was not something that I was ready for, but
okay.
I was also scared to shrug it off, so I carried on with my pregnancy. So life which was before marriage and after marriage, just in one day everything changed for me. The cities, friends, family, work environment. Of course, I was not working anymore. So yeah, and slowly and gradually I started feeling that this is not working. But before I could understand anything, a lot was happening. So I possibly was sort of trying to suppress it and going with the flow that now that it is happening, maybe things will get better and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But apparently, of course, I delivered my daughter within 18 months of my marriage. And yeah, that was it. So
So
yeah, that is.
life was a bit fun with your daughter around.
Life has been with my daughter. It's absolutely amazing, awesome with my daughter.
Hmm.
She was when she was born. I had become like a like a crazy mother, I would say, that who's absolutely, because since I was not working anymore, I had nothing else to do. She had become the axis of my life. She still is so. But
Hmm.
when a child is born, of course my entire focus was on her. And of course, the surroundings weren't really great as well, so I was more so trying to find happiness within
With
her,
her,
and with her and myself, like the two of us. And we were so interdependent. Like I couldn't live without her for 1 minute, and of course a child wouldn't live without her mother for sure. So yeah, this is how it was. This is how the life was going for me back then. Yeah.
So, I mean, she was very little when you took a stand. I mean, how old was she when?
She was, merely 2 year old. She had not even completed 2 years. She was just 2 year old when I took the decision that this is not working out for me, and I possibly should have to, get out of this relationship.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, with the time. The relationship wasn't, of course, working, and when something is not working out, you start realizing, then
Yeah.
you realize that you're not happy in that relationship. When two people are not happy together, of course, there are quarrels, there are fights, there are arguments. And with the time, when my daughter started growing, I realized that this is not a kind of environment wherein I would like to raise her. This is not
Right.
the right kind of set of people. Again, I wanted her to be happy, to be raised and in a sane environment. So I think more because of her, I actually decided that I want to, I was able to actually take that step. If it was only for me, I probably wouldn't have really taken that step. But since I could see, my daughter and what all is happening in the house in front of her, I thought it is better that I take this decision. I step out instead of sort of giving a full insane world. I would rather give her a half but sane world. So
That was
with that,
the protective mother
yeah,
taking over, that,
yeah,
like, for your daughter.
absolutely. Yes, because
Yeah.
it's very important. The initial years are very, very crucial on kids mind, and I didn't want her to get scarred for life, looking, being raised in such an environment which is not healthy, which is not happy. I wanted her to be a happy child. I wanted her to be like, you know see and feel the happiness, and not just hear the word happiness. And
So,
that's
I mean,
good for me to
does she
get out.
understand? Like, does she understand? I mean, now she's older, but when you moved back or when you came back to Delhi, did she understand what's happening with her? I mean, how did she react to the situation?
Practically, it didn't have any impact on her.
Hmm.
For us changing cities or changing the families, let's say that, because for her it was only her mom practically. All those 2 years when she also lived with her, other set of the family. Then also she was a clingy child, and she would always be 24/7. She is in my arms all the time. So for her, everything was me, and her
Okay.
mom was everything for her. So wherever if I am there, she doesn't need anything else. And after when I moved back to my place, to my mom's, that is when I moved to city, that is when she also started becoming a little independent, because there are other people in the family. She's been taken care by other people also, so she started to creating her own space and everything after we moved. So I think it was a good change, and it didn't impact her back then, for sure.
Okay. And now, how is she with the situation? Like, does she miss her father, or is she okay? I mean, how does
You
she?
know, I wouldn't say that she doesn't miss. She doesn't say it, I know, but I'm sure that she's at such an age. It's a very tender age, 10 year
Yeah.
old. You know,
Yeah.
and she's a very, very mature girl, and she understands that my mom is separated, or whatever her understanding of this relationship would be. But she understands that everybody has a father. I only have mom, and
Mm.
she has been very, very supportive, and she has been in all terms. And it's not, I wouldn't say that she doesn't miss her father. I'm sure she's she has her questions and everything, and I keep probing her also that if you want to speak to your father, you can, and things like that. But practically she has never had any attachment with him, because the time, there was no time that she has spent with him. So she's absolutely okay. She doesn't really misses him as such, but I'm sure there must be something that she feels. But
Mhm.
she's absolutely comfortable in the zone that she is in right now.
I think the strong part is that you've been such a strong element in her life, so probably that's what her,
That
you
could
know,
be. That could be. But I always feel that, she should sort of, I mean, I would want her to speak if she wants to, and discuss it with me and get open about it, so that, we can discuss and there is a healthy discussion instead of keeping things in heart. It's
right,
always better to speak up.
to
But
communicate.
other
Yes,
than that, yeah, but other than that, I think Trishna, she's absolutely fine. There is, really no challenges as such. Touch wood.
that's good. That's really good for you as well. So, I mean, dealing with your daughter was, I mean, I think the easier part. But what about social perceptions? Like, how does the society take you as a single mother, and how do you cope up with it?
See, my coping mechanism, I am deaf to the society, honestly. I
Hmm.
don't really, their words do not touch my ears, so I wouldn't say that it matters to me. But yes, I understand that, since the society, for society, single mother, the term is a taboo, and
Right.
people do sort of, look down upon you. And, no matter what happens, people don't know what happened in the relationship, or why
Right.
have you taken that step. But they have their judgments passed, that,
That's the easiest thing for them to do, right?
yeah, exactly.
May
That's
as
the
well.
easiest thing for them to do.
Yeah,
That,
so may as well. Yeah.
yeah, she must have done something, or she must have not done something, so
Hmm.
things like that. But I think I've always been very, very, and I have been raised in such a way that I have cared less about society all throughout my life. So it didn't really matter. And the best part is, Trishna, that my family supported the decision that I took. Since my
Nice.
family
That's very
supported the
important.
decision, yes. So, people will keep saying things, but at one time they'll shut, because for how long they can go on and on.
Exactly.
And thankfully, while I have seen this part of the society, I have also seen the good part of the society, wherein I have met a lot of people who have been so happy to see me the way I am and the way I've been raising my daughter. They've been so supportive and nice and kind, that you, at least, nobody comes and do something for you. But the best part is that they come and support you morally. So
Right.
that has been and these are the things that I count. Whenever I want to keep something in my head, that these are the things that I remember, instead of remembering the things that are possibly, not
That
good to
becomes
remember.
an anchor, I guess, to
Yeah.
keep you afloat. And
Yeah.
also because it's we as love, the good part about human beings are we are so adaptable.
Yeah.
So if you are able to understand that during your tough times, who stands by you, you
Yes.
can get into that zone where you're. I mean, those people are become your family and your world. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess you've managed it so beautifully,
Yeah.
and that's
Absolutely.
why you are where you are. I mean, there's so much about that you have achieved.
Yeah.
So,
Thankfully, with all.
otherwise, how is your life as a single mother?
Sorry.
How is your life otherwise as a single mother?
So
Like
with,
your
as a single mother, of course, you have your challenges. The life is absolutely, absolutely amazing. I feel content. I'm absolutely content with what I have, with my daughter, with the family that I have around, with the work that I am doing. I find it absolutely content. And, of course, it comes with its set of challenges also. When you're a single mother, of course, there is a lot of, lot of things that you have to be responsible for everything. You have to be responsible for every decision that you take for your child, because you're the one who's taking all the decisions. While you may feel that, it's a good thing that I'm the only one who can decide for your child, it is also that you have to live by those decisions, that, whatever that you're doing, and
yeah,
whatever the repercussions be of those decisions, you have to stand by, and you have to take them on and
take
lead them on.
responsibility. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, at times you feel tired, you're exhausted, that, I have to do everything. There comes times when you feel that, oh God, this is very tiring. but then it's fine, I mean, I am sure that it happens with normal parents as well. Even if there are two people looking after the kids, it
The
happens with them
family.
also. So yeah, but absolutely, other than that, it's absolutely perfect.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. So also your there's so much to know about your work. It keeps you afloat. So what would you like to share? What kind of work you do and what is it that?
So basically, I have been into events and PR and branding, brand positioning for a very long time. I have done all sorts of events, starting from social events to corporate events to big fat Indian weddings to to IPs, intellectual properties, creating intellectual properties. So I
Wow.
have done. I've traveled extensively for my work, and I just love my work. I love to do what I do, which also keeps me going, because work is a very important part of my life, and
It's
that is
so
my.
beautiful. It's so beautiful to see a person have that authentic smile when they say that, I love what I do because I understand that feeling. I resonate with it completely. And there was so much of an authentic, smile that you have
Yeah,
with regards
no,
to
I
your.
completely, because I practically say that there are two important things in my life. One is my daughter. The second one is my work. These
Hmm.
are the two things that keeps me going. So yes, I have been I've traveled extensively for work. I have created all sort of events. I feel really proud for being one of the youngest literature festival directors in the country, and I incepted Dehradun's first literature festival. So yeah, these are the thing. This is basically my overall work right now. I am working with an MNC, and I look after their events, their corporate events and marketing.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, you were talking about being the director at the literature festival also. How does it feel to be the youngest one, and how did you actually become one? Like, what got you
So
into this?
basically, I was working with this organization called, there's this socio-cultural center called World Integrity Center in
Oh,
Dehradun. It is located in Dehradun.
all
And
right.
they wanted to start outreach, reaching out to, they wanted to create a series of events wherein they will do outreach, the free entry events, all sort of event, but knowledgeable event, imparting knowledge, giving back to the society. So that is
Right.
when it all started, and I started curating events for them. I was curating nothing less than 5 to 6 events per month for them, and every month we'll have one music or dance event, which is again classical, Indian classical or Western classical. Similarly, so I was doing a lot of literary events, and one fine day I just walked up to the owner and I said that let's do a literature festival. And it was very I have not been an avid reader throughout my life. I've been a reader, but I've not been an avid reader. So
Mm.
pulling off, curating, incepting a literature festival all by myself was something that I felt proud of, you know and I went up to her
You
and
had
I
no
said,
experience in the past of the same.
sorry.
You had no experience of the past in the
No,
past
I
of the.
did not have any experience of putting any sort of literature festival. I did not work with any of the literary festival, agencies or anything. I had done, of course, for the same organization, standalone literary events, but putting
Hmm.
a literature festival all together
Yes, yeah,
and doing a standalone event are two different things. So I
right.
went up to her and I said that I'd like to start a literature festival, because we have been doing so many events. And I think this is, Dehradun did not have a literature festival back then. So I said, before anybody thinks of it, let's just own this. And she thankfully had some sort of insane trust in me, and she, in one go, she said, Mukta, go ahead. And that's when all it happened. So starting from the thought of it till the last execution,
Yeah.
everything was designed by me. And practically I was absolutely awake for almost 4 months. I hardly slept throughout those
Oh,
4 months. because literature festival, putting in a 2 days literature festival from the scratch with about like 40-50 speakers, and that was the first time. So
How
that was the
long back?
start. Huh?
How long back is this?
I think this was almost about 4-5 years back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then we did another, so we continued for 3 years. Uh, and then I moved on. So, yeah. But that was a lovely experience. And I was really, really, starting from the marketing content to to deciding the panels, to reaching out to publication houses for the authors, to reaching out to the authors directly,
Mhm.
putting them, creating panels and everything. That was a lovely experience of my life. And I always am very, very proud of that.
So, did your reading pattern change post putting this festival together, or
Did
you
my
still reading pattern?
no, of course it did. It's of course did, because automatically when you are meeting so many people, when I was meeting all these authors like Ashwini, Ashwin Sanghi and Durjoy Datta, and best of the Hindol Sen Gupta, like you're speaking to everybody in person. So when you're talking to them personally, you feel like picking up their books and giving them a read,
Yeah, yeah.
automatically, because
That's what I.
it becomes personal then.
Yes.
So, of course, my reading pattern did change, and since I was always somebody who would write diaries, who would write to myself, it automatically sort of started helping, and that is when,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So slowly and gradually, I got into, I started writing a little more, but that was still again for myself. And
And that's how I think you got into blogging.
yeah, and
Your
that's when
famous language.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So that's
Tell
when
us about
exactly
that.
so
Yeah.
basically, lockdown has given everybody some extra, time,
Right.
because everybody is home. You're at least saving on the driving time and everything, commuting time. So I had some extra time too in hand, and I thought, so I was writing, and then I thought that maybe I should give it a try and publish. I've been a little personal, I am a little personal, human that way. So I was not really back then. I was not really ready to, put out my stories and everything. But then I
Okay.
felt that maybe this is time that I also, because I have also seen a lot of women suffering, in their marriages. There were a lot of things that actually pushed me to write about my own story, because somewhere I felt that I think it is also my duty, while I am a single parent and I am doing, and my family has supported me in such a beautiful way, that I could do whatever. Trishna, without, honestly speaking, if it was not for my family to be at the back, I don't think that possibly, because when I'm running, when I'm on my toes for work, I am traveling, they're always there to support me with my daughter and everything. So,
Yes.
I really thought
You're
that,
blessed. You're blessed because a lot of single mothers don't get that opportunity, and yeah,
absolutely. No. And I always, I've always considered myself, and even in my blogs, I've always written that, I am, blessed, and I always acknowledge that, because, if it wasn't for everybody, then I'm not saying that I wouldn't have been able to do anything, but I wouldn't have been able to do it as well, because then I would have had certain restrictions. I would have had to be, at the back of your mind, you're always worried about your child. With my family, I'm not worried about my child. So yeah, so I thought that would be a good idea to sort of put my story out for people to read and understand. And when so again, something that I would like to mention, while I started writing, I had to be very, very, right with the facts and figures. I
Mm.
figured out that there are 13 million single mothers in our country itself, which is a huge number.
13 million
13 million. And
single
it
mothers.
is still a taboo. And with
Yeah.
13 million mothers, single mothers, it still remains a taboo in our country. And
Yes.
we are contributing to about 4% of the economy of the country.
Mm.
We are taking all the challenges head on. We are doing everything that we can. Why are we looked down upon? you know
Mm.
and why are women so scared? And again, something that I would like to say here, I'm not trying to just glorify single parenting. I'm not
Right.
telling people to sort of go and just break your marriage for no reason. I am just
Right.
trying to tell you that we need to normalize single parenting. If today I take a step, if I decide that I want to be a single parent, let me be.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm
I
not
mean,
asking anything from the society.
according to me, nobody else is living your life for you.
Absolutely.
So
Yes,
you are the best person to know your circumstances.
exactly.
And from the outside, you can't tell who's right or wrong. So I think, the whole thing is about that. And somebody I knew was also going through, she was going through physical abuse in her marriage for 16 years. And she had a 14-year-old daughter. So finally, she took a stand because she said that I want to make my daughter feel that I mean I want her to know that this is not normal, and
Absolutely.
she shouldn't feel like getting abused is normal. So if she looks for a partner, she might also find someone who's physically abusive. And she said, then finally I took a stand that I can. And in fact, her daughter supported her. She said, Mom, don't go through this. Please get out of this. And she also has, stepped out of her marriage now after 16 years of taking that, all of that, So, I mean, it's so important that as a mother, like you said, your 2-year-old, you could see that she's not happy,
Yeah.
and you took a stand that you don't want her to go through that, and you don't want her to grow in a circumstance or environment which is not full of happiness and positivity. So I think that's a very important and crucial decision that you took. I mean, not only for yourself but for your child as well.
That's for my daughter. Yes, because it's very important, Trishna. Because if our daughters keeps, seeing us being undignified, being, beaten, by being abused, how are we expecting them to think that this is not normal? They
Not
will
normal.
think that this is normal. They will
Exactly.
think this is normal, and this is not something that. And none of us wants our daughter to be beaten up by anybody. I don't want. And let's
Exactly.
not say not only beaten up, abused or anything. They have to
Even
stand up for
even
themselves.
So, so something like a mental torture is not tangible, but
Hmm.
that is also so difficult. I mean, I just got to know that a student has passed away due to anxiety in UK just yesterday because of the corona anxiety, and he couldn't
Yeah,
manage it, and the university wasn't supporting him enough. So even this is an important, like these are all mental tortures that a person goes
absolutely.
through, the traumas. So
And we
people
don't even understand. Physical we can see.
exactly. So people
Mental.
say, "Oh, I didn't, yeah," and people say, "I didn't slap you," or "I didn't, raise my voice," or "I didn't slap you." But the mental torture is on a different level, which is not visible to anybody. So it's like it's very it's hidden, it's subtle in that sense. But the person who's going through it knows it. So yeah, I
Absolutely.
get what you're saying. Absolutely, yeah.
So
So
I think
it's so important.
it is very, very important, and I think these are not the things which should be taken not taken into consideration. Mental abuse, physical abuse, any kind of abuse, which is.
Yeah,
And I think it's very important to raise voices against any such thing, because and even if it's not your daughter, even if it is a son who's watching all
yeah,
this,
yes.
he's exactly thinking that this is fine, I can do this to my my girlfriend or my
Yes,
wife later. And this is
yes.
not what we would, any of us would like to sort of know our.
Propagate for the
Yeah.
next generation, because you're just
Absolutely.
spoiling the next generation as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So has your blogging helped? Like a lot of women, have they reached out to you and
I would say yes, because a lot of women have, and mostly, of course, my audience is majorly women. While I write about single parenting, I am not only talking about women. I'm also talking about men. There are
Right.
men out there who are troubled by women, let's be honest. And there are single fathers out there. And
Yes.
so my blog is for everybody. And I think, and I know a few men also who have reached out to me, and of course plenty of women who would ask me, they will talk to me, they'll seek some sort of advice. Of course, I'm no counselor or anything, but on a very personal note, people do come reach out and ask.
Sort it
uh,
out. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because you've gone through it. How have you handled it and everything? With kids, about
Right.
the only thing the most important thing that I feel, Trishna, here is about being financially independent.
Yes.
you know
Yes.
each to their own, of course. Whoever
Yeah.
at whatever level, whatever is your capacity be, we need to be women need to be financially independent.
Yeah. They need to be secured, and yeah.
And once you have that security, once you're you are on your own, that is when you can fight the world.
Right. Right. That is, I think that is a very important one that you brought up here, because whatever other support, emotional support, or whatever other things you get, but I think financial independence is very
You have
important.
to have, you cannot, like, I cannot expect my family to run my expenditures. you know
Right.
Nobody can. Everybody has their own set of families. uh, Everybody has this own set of expenses and everything. Everybody, the only thing that I feel a family should be able to extend is the emotional support. If you extend the emotional support, the women should be able to manage the financial support, financial expenses and everything. Financial balance they'll have to do. And then both the things put together, family's emotional support and your financial independence, I think
The balance is somewhere,
yeah,
yeah, you can manage
the
to.
balance can be touched. Yes.
Yeah. So, according to you, what is woman empowerment?
So for me, women empowerment basically, wherein a woman is allowed, and I wouldn't even want to use a word allowed, because who is the other gender to allow somebody basically? But
Right.
I'd say that, somebody, when women can take their life discerning decisions on their own, is when
Yeah.
I will call women empowered.
Yeah. Without social, and I think without limitations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
any, you want to think about it, you don't want to think about it. I also think about, at certain times I'll also think that, log kya kahenge. But then
Right.
again, I have my answer that log kya kahenge, does it matter to you? And if it
Yeah.
matters, then you take your decision. So whatever decision you take today,
Hmm.
for example, 8 years back, I took a decision. For these all 8 years, people have been saying something or the other, and today also people say whatever they have to say. But what matters is that I stick to my, I stand by my decision. So
And
that's the most.
you're at peace with whatever you decided.
Yeah, exactly. So, taking that decision and standing by it, making it happen. If tomorrow, if today, if something goes wrong, I cannot go back. I should not go back and say that, like, you don't know what to do. You have taken a decision, you stand by it, you make things happen. And life ka graph is always going up and down in everybody's life. This
And
is all life.
you can't do anything about the external events. All
Absolutely.
you
So
can do is
life
how you
keeps.
manage yourself. Yeah.
Yes. So life keeps going. But I and this entire, when we talk about women empowerment, Trishna, everything goes back to women education.
Yes. Yes.
Unless
It
and
was.
until a woman is literate and she is, educated, we cannot, there are very few cases. Of course, there are few cases wherein, of course, uneducated women are also empowered. But it is
Yeah.
very, very important to educate our women, so that they can empower themselves. We don't
Yeah.
need to empower them, we just need to educate them.
So there is no, I mean, it's not obviously the only mark, but it always helps. I think because education will make you financially independent. So the entire snowball effect happens, I feel.
So
But
when I say literacy and education both put together, I think that is when the women, we can call or we can expect women to be empowered how we raise them, because once they are educated, they understand things, then they know how can they go about creating their careers, money, financial independence is what I genuinely feel is the way for
the way
empowering
ahead,
women in
yes.
our country. Yeah.
Also, sometimes I feel just that there's pseudo woman empowerment that is going on that is more to do with feminism, but
Feminism. That's more of
yeah,
feminism.
yeah. So I think that is something that should be understood and changed. I think if you're on the same page, maybe
Absolutely,
we
I
can
am.
talk about it someday. So
No, no, yes, yes, absolutely. I am with you on that. Yes, because
yeah,
in the name of feminism, uh, a lot of things goes wrong. I wouldn't
yeah.
really, this is not the platform to discuss all of that, but yes, I would
Taken.
definitely say that yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So let me check if our viewers have any questions.
Sure.
Yeah, there is a question actually. This is Geet Khedekar. Being a single mother, how do you maintain the perfect balance between your corporate life and personal life?
So, as I said, my life is has just got majorly two aspects: work and my daughter. So, of course, usually the pattern is decided. We weekends are for daughter, weekdays. Now she's 10. She's herself always. She has her own schedule. I have to seek time from her now. She has schools, tuitions, other classes, and
Yeah,
weekends we have usually, and of course the regular days are such that you generally don't get a lot of time to spend with each other, because as I said, that how hectic a corporate life gets and everything. So we take small little getaways. We'll find 2-3 hours time, and I'll take her out for a long drive on some highway. We'll go out, eat together at a dhaba on a highway. So these are the small little things that we keep doing, so that she knows basically that I
yeah.
am there. We connect often on these drives or outings, weekend getaways and things like that. And that is, that suffice my absence on the weekdays for her, which is also practically she's also busy with her studies and everything.
So
So yeah.
that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. So I think you found your balance while she was growing up, I think.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and also the family support, like you said, is very
Family,
important.
yes, absolutely. So when I am in the city, even if I come back at 2 o'clock at night, from work, uh, in the morning I will make sure that I wake up and send her to school myself, because this is the only time that I get to spend with her. So that
Yeah.
1.5 hour, I'll wake her up, I'll get her ready, get her tiffin and everything, so that this is the only time that I know that I have with her, and nobody can disturb that. My work is not gonna disturb me at 6 o'clock. Now
Hmm.
once done, then, because once she comes back, I'll again be back in office. And then if I come back on time, of course we have about 1-2 hours to spend with each other. But the best thing is that the morning time that we get, I always keep that for her. Even if I come back at 2-3, I make sure I get her ready to for school, drop her at the school school bus, and then come back, maybe again sleep, of course. But that time I don't let go by.
You like quality time is what you all spend
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah. So that time is very, very important. And of course, when I am traveling, anywhere out of the city for work, then of course, I have my family. They support in such way that I am absolutely, I have no tensions at all about her. And that's something that, touch wood, I'm blessed about, that I don't have to worry about her when I travel. And I can be so I have been able to achieve so much in my work life also, because I had these people at my back who supported me so that I could go out and hustle. Otherwise I had to be always watching my clock, as to what
Mm.
time is this and I have to be back home. So yeah.
Right, right. So actually, on that note, we have another question. Her name is Akshu Dalvi. She says, "How does it feel to achieve so much on your own, proving naysayers wrong?"
See, it absolutely feels good. It is absolutely something that you feel that, being a single mother, you have been able to make at least that much, that my daughter will be proud of me. So it feels really good. And as I said, my life revolves around her. I think I had become the mother who was born 10 years back, has been more more focused, because I
Oh,
want, because all my daughter sees is mama, and she wants to become like mama. So I
yeah.
have to be,
You are her role model.
exactly. So I have
Yeah,
to make sure that she is in the right direction, for which I have to be in the right direction.
right, right.
Yeah. So it
Absolutely.
absolutely, it feels good to be here.
Yeah. So there's another person asking if you can, Mr. Rane, any message or words of inspiration for single mothers.
I think all the single parents are inspiring. I can hardly say a word for anybody, because I know all of them are fighting hard and making
Okay.
life work. So all I can say is kudos to every single mother out there. That's it.
Yeah.
I Every single person is in, every single mother who's fighting out there is a, is a fighter.
Mother
Is,
or father. Either
yeah.
ways, like you said.
Yeah, mother and father both. Yes, of course. Any single parent, they are
Mm.
absolutely. So, kudos to them.
And on a evening note, could you give us, our fearless Indians, any message for them? Could you want to give them any message for our viewers?
Trishna, your page says the fearless Indian, and all I would want, for everybody is to be fearless. Especially the women in our country, we need to be fearless to make sure what happens with women uh, in the country. And I'm not saying this only happens here in our country. I'm not blaming my country, my people, but yes, there are a lot of things that happen. But if we all become fearless,
Yeah.
we can make it better, we can make this place better. On that note, Trishna, I work in such an industry wherein I travel extensively. I drive around Delhi NCR and other places, intercity, states,
Yes.
all by myself at every given time, because my work is such that if I finish at 3 o'clock in the morning, I have to come back, right? And
Right.
I'm usually, I'm like 99.9% I'm driving on my own. And I think the only thing that I've been is fearless, because of which I have been able to, because I've never had that fear. How can I go at 12
Yeah.
at night?
It was not an
Yeah.
excuse not to perform
Yeah.
or
So
not to be.
automatically when you have, yes, so automatically when you have this thing that it's fine. I mean, I've never felt even twice that I've never thought twice that oh, this is 12 or this is 11, how do I go out, or you
Mhm.
know and things like that. So I have
Yeah,
been honest.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So your page is something that I totally relate with, and all of the women out there need to be just fearless.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's such an amazing message for everyone. I hope they abide by this, and I hope everyone is having an awesome time raising their children, being
I hope
fearless.
so.
And thanks to your blogs, I think if more people can reach out to you, it'll be amazing. So
I would
thank you
love.
so much of that insight and help that you've given to our viewers.
Pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you, Mukta, for joining us
Thank you
today.
so much,
It
Trishna.
was
Thank
such
you so
a
much for
lovely
having me.
time. Yeah, it was wonderful, wonderful talking to you.
Likewise, likewise. Absolutely, Trishna. Thank you so much for having me once again.
See you in
All
person
right.
soon. Yes.
See you. See you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.